welcome back. This is going to be, I think it's episode 4. We're actually going to do the Nintendo games today. I just felt like talking about these rather than those other ones today. So let's start with Dr. Mario. This is a cabinet that I built. My Zookeeper's screwing up. I got to fix the monitor. The horizontal holds off a little bit. But anyways, Dr. Mario, I built this cabinet. This just has a Pandora box in it, set to just Dr. Mario. I put dual speakers just because I like the look of both speakers. I just thought it looked better in my opinion. But this is made out of 3/4 inch MDF actually. And what I did here is I have it just set to Dr. Mario, and I put a little button here. And what this button does is turns the sound on and off, because Dr. Mario always has this playing non-stop and it gets annoying. So that button right there just mutes it and you don't have to worry about it. It's running an LCD monitor in here. I might someday change it. If I find a regular Dr. Mario board, maybe I'll put a CRT in there and, at least make it look a little nicer and have it play, an original hardware rather than the Pandora box. I built this thing probably 8 years ago. It's painted green. We did all our own artwork on it. Really have next to nothing in it, maybe $400 in it, because I bought a coin door from Arcade Shop. So it has an Arcade Shop coin door on it. Flat screen monitor, cost next to nothing, and Zookeeper warmed up and now it's fine. I have a little bit in paint and some stuff. So like I said, I probably only have about $400 into it. It's a cool game. It's a fun game. 2-player game or 1-player, depending on which way you want to play it. We have a bunch more 3D printed stuff on the top here that my buddy printed. He's printed all this stuff for me. There's some cup heads and stuff over there, which I'll show you when I get over there. Popeye is not printed. Neither is the Mario. He is just like a plastic statue. Popeye is like a composite material he's made out of. Okay, so basically that's really it about Dr. Mario. Not much to talk about on that. It's just a JAMMA harness right now in there. Nothing fancy. Flat screen. Easy to hook up. Just plug and play really. Next to that we have an original Popeye. The cabinet itself came from Arcade Jason. I think I gave him $300 for it. For the cabinet itself. We printed the side art. I want to say the front art, I think the screen bezel came from Arcade Shop, and this I think came from, I'm trying to think where this came from. I think Arcade Shop was out of it at the time. I don't remember where I ordered that from. And the marquee came too from the same person. But this is running original Popeye hardware. It's running the original power supply. It's running original wiring harness and all that stuff. Now, I didn't have a wiring harness when I got this. This was an empty cabinet with a monitor in it. And I didn't have the wiring harness. Couldn't find a wiring harness. I ended up finding one for a cocktail table, and I made it work on here. So basically, on a cocktail table, you have a player 1 and player 2 side. So I just didn't use the one side of the harness. Worked out fine. No issues with that. Monitor still can maybe get a little bit brighter than what it's currently at. Seems a little bit dim. But the lights are on down here too, so that might change it a little bit. But like I said, I think I paid $300 for the cabinet. Cleaned up the coin door, repainted the coin door. I did put all these got new coin chutes. I just put new ones on. The old ones were just beat to hell and broken and missing parts and all that stuff. So the cabinet was $300. I think I bought the board for $150, $200, and then the wiring harness was like $70 or $80, and then some artwork. I'm probably about $700 or $800 in it, which is on the high side, because I don't think these really sell for more than $800 to $1,000. So I'm definitely on the higher side of this one, but I wanted it. It's a game I remember playing as a kid. So sometimes, you buy what you want. So, but it's completely been gone through. This monitor gave me hell. There are videos on it. I spent probably 6 hours working on this harness. monitor. Sorry, the dogs are playing with their toy. I spent probably 6 hours on this monitor to get it to work. I stole parts and pieces from various monitors to get this one to work, but I ended up getting it to work, and it looks pretty good. I might just turn the brightness up a little bit. And I have a little bit of a degaussing issue down in the bottom corner I might have to mess with. Basically, that's about it with that one. The Popeye came from a buddy of mine that does a 3D printing. It was actually a gift. He gave that to me. So give me a second here, and then we're going to move on to the Cuphead. Okay, made my dog go upstairs with this squeaky toy, so at least if he does it up there, it'll be a little bit less annoying. So now the Cuphead. All the cabinet itself I built. Once again, 3/4 MDF, painted with automotive paint. I got all the artwork from Joe Zabo, because he's the one that designed all this. So I got it all from him. I don't remember what the art package cost. This was years ago when he first did it. I'm sure the prices have gone up by now, so I'm not sure what I paid for it. Maybe $400, $500. I definitely spent some money on this game. I had his buddy do the computer for this. He set up the computer, all the controls and everything for it. I think I paid $600 for the computer and everything. Like I said, it wasn't cheap. Definitely spent a good amount of money on this game. My buddy 3D printed the Cuphead guys up top, and then he painted it. After he 3D printed them, he painted them all. They turned out really nice. I could show you the computer inside of here. What I did was I put the computer right by the front of the door, and then I'm running a flat screen monitor in here because I wouldn't really be able to get a CRT in here. Let me lower my tripod for a minute here and we can kind of see. I should have set the monitor a little bit lower, and I still might fix it because it drives me a little nuts. It's too high. It needs to go lower in the cabinet. So I need to bring the monitor down like 3-4 inches, and I'm going to do that at some point when I get the time. And on the front of this here, there are light bulbs in here that are like fire light bulbs, so they flicker. So it gives it a cool effect. And what I did was I gutted the buttons as far as the light bulbs and everything and left those out of there, and I put clear rings around them so that those flicker when the lights are off down here. You can see them flickering. It's a pretty cool effect. Let me see if I can get a key. We can look at the computer. See where I have a key at. Usually I have them on top of some of these games. Of course, not today. Alright, I got one. Okay, so let me, I'll take the camera off the tripod here and we'll show you the computer setup. Like I said, I didn't do the computer, so I don't really know much about it. I know it's running off of Linux, I believe that's called. And he walked me through it all when I went ahead and when he got it all for me. But here's the computer right here. I have it strapped into the cabinet right here. I can get to it. Right here is a little amplifier. And what this does is I can turn the volume up and down on the computer. But I have it set where I want it to be set at. I bought this coin door from Arcade Shop. I never wired it up because this doesn't take coins. But I bought a new coin door and all the mechanisms and everything just so that I have them. Just so it looks original, more original looking. All the wiring and everything's in there. It's running a switching power supply forgot what I'm running off of that. I don't remember. It's been years now since I've built this, but if you look in here, you can see the light bulb. But can't really see it right now because the lights are on down here. But it definitely flickers. It looks really cool. Flat screen monitor. I believe I bought this monitor new off of Amazon years ago. It was less than $100, I'm sure. But I probably have $1,500 wrapped up into this game. Definitely on the high side, but it's a cool game. Kids come and they love playing it. I am horrible at it. I can't even get past the first freaking level. And then kids come here and play it for like hours. I don't get it. But the artwork on this thing is badass. I think he did an awesome job with it. The way he made it look weathered. It has a really nice matte finish laminate over top of the artwork. He just did a badass job on it. He really did a nice job designing it. Everything flows, and I really can't say enough about it. It's just a very cool, in my opinion, is a really cool art piece more than anything, because I suck at playing it, but kids love playing it. Kids come here to play, they play that game a lot. So that's pretty much with the Cuphead. Now next to it is Fix-It Felix Jr., another game that I built. So I built 3 out of these 5 games. Like, once again, years ago when I was building a lot of games rather than restoring games, I built a bunch for myself at the time. Now I'm more into restoring games than building them. I'd rather have a restored game than a built game. But, you know, this game, you really couldn't get it any other way. I mean, they made some of them, but there's not many original ones floating around. I think they made like a dozen or so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know it wasn't many. Once again, this is 3/4 MDF, and it is painted with automotive paint on the outside and on the inside. I used the blue paint they would use for like Donkey Kong, Popeye, same color blue. That reminds me. Was it the Popeye? Let me look at the Popeye real quick. Yes, this Popeye is a little bit different in color, but this Popeye, I don't remember if I painted this one or not. Okay, I painted it. Never mind. I thought I wrapped that with vinyl, but I didn't. I did paint that cabinet. So that is automotive paint. So is the Dr. Mario, is also automotive paint. And so is Fix-It Felix. Obviously, Cuphead is covered with artwork, but I'll show you the Donkey Kong Jr. afterwards. So this is running on a computer. My buddy Brian built the computer for this. I built 3 of these games at the same time. I think we printed all the artwork. No. We found all the artwork years ago when I did this for like $200. I got this piece of Lexan or plexiglass, this piece of plexiglass, that, and the side art. It was like $200 a cabinet. I bought 3 kits because I did all 3 cabinets. And so what we did there is he built me a computer, and he built my other buddy Brad a computer, and he built himself a computer. And then I built him a cabinet in exchange for the computer. So didn't really have much into it there, you know, maybe $100. And then the art kit was $200. And then there's a flat screen monitor in it, which I think I want to change that to a CRT. I think it would just make it look that much cooler to put a CRT in here. This is a really fun game for me. The only drawback on this game that I don't like is it does not save high scores. I really like games that save high scores. This one, unfortunately, does not do that. Popeye has a high score save kit in it. But this one obviously doesn't save high scores. It saves them until you turn it off. Once you turn it off and restart it, then you lose your high scores. So basically, if somebody gets a really high score, I just take a picture of it on my phone. Then I have it in my phone so we know where we're at. But I love playing this game. It's a fun game. Once again, this one and on Cuphead, I'm missing some stuff today. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit behind from finishing up the 59 Impala on my other channel this morning. But anyways, on this one, I put a button as well, because if not, you have to hear this the whole time. Now, I don't know if there's a way in the computer to stop that, but my solution, the easiest way, was just to put this in here. And all this is on the negative wire of the speakers. So I just cut the negative wire of the speakers and put it on each side of this little push-in button, and that's all you have to do. And I did the same thing with Fix-It Felix, because this game will drive you nuts. Now, this monitor has a bad pixel right in the middle of the screen. Let's see if we can see it. You gotta wait for the right time. But right in the middle of the stupid screen, a pixel went bad. And it's just a white dot. See it? A little white dot on his pants. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but anyways, there's another little button here on the control panel. But you have to hear this repeatedly, just non-stop if you leave that button on. So, as you can tell, that's why I put that on there. So, once again, this is another one of those games that is, I think it's an awesome game, and it would have been really cool if they really did make a bunch of these. But I don't have a lot into it. Like I said, I built a cabinet for him. I probably spent $100 on materials, and I had to buy a flat screen monitor, which was $100, I think, and then the artwork was $200. So I'm probably only $400 or $500, probably $500 into this whole setup. And like I said, great game. There is a 3D printed hammer. That same buddy did it. This is a really nice 3D printed hammer. And then this guy came inside of this can, And we picked this up in Tennessee when we were there at some shop. They had it. So those just kind of sit up there. Right next to it we have Donkey Kong Jr. And this game, I got a heater in my way here. We had a heater down here in the wintertime because it gets a little cold. Let me move this out of the way. So Donkey Kong Jr. is an original cabinet, original game. I paid $400 for it in working condition off of eBay, and I drove an hour or so to go get it. It was close to me, so I bought it. Actually, I brought the guy cash, but I found it on eBay. It was $400, and it worked. I got it home. I stripped it. The cabinet was in pretty rough shape. Went through it all, put it all back together. The monitor started freaking out. I had to rebuild the monitor. The audio had a bad hum, so I rebuilt the amplifier on the monitor, and then I had to do a cap kit on the board itself. So I had to do all those things to it to get it to run proper. It's running the original power supply, the original harness. Everything's original in there, just cleaned up, and that's pretty much it. I just took everything out, cleaned it, fixed the cabinet, painted the cabinet with automotive paint, and then what I did with the cabinet is I got really lucky, and I think it's a really, really good match. Let me go over here. This is satin vinyl. This is automotive satin orange vinyl off of Amazon. I think it cost me $100 to wrap the whole cabinet. But I was having a hard time finding an orange that I thought looked right, and this one to me was almost a dead match to the original orange that was on the cabinet. I'd have to look it up if anybody wants to know what it was, to find out what color it was exactly, but I'm sure I can probably find it on my history on Amazon. It was only a couple years ago that I redid this cabinet. These are all the original buttons and everything. Joysticks original. These buttons were cigarette burned pretty bad. This is before I was making videos, and I actually wet sanded these down and polished them and was able to get the cigarette burns out of them. This button is not original. I lied. This one did not. Somebody had the center of the button was missing, and somebody had a pencil stuck in there, and they were just pushing on the pencil. They had a broken off piece of pencil, and they were pushing on it to jump. But anyways, I had an orange button sitting around, so I put that on. Original coin door and everything down there. Now this has the original coin mechanisms in it. Those were in good shape, so I cleaned them and reused them. Those are how they're supposed to look. These ones are fake ones. So those are the original style ones. I think Popeye has new ones because the door was empty. It didn't have them in it when I bought it from Arcade Jason. So basically, I bought this for $400 working. I bought a cap kit for the monitor and the board, the vinyl and the artwork. I think it was all new because it was trashed. All the artwork's new, and I think this came from, all the front art I think came from Arcade Shop, and then the sides we printed. So if I were to guess, I'd say $400 or $500, maybe $650 into it, and it's brand new, you know, and it works. All original hardware and everything, and I'm very happy with it. Another game I suck at. I suck at anything Donkey Kong related. I don't know why, but I'm just not good at it. But anyways, I was thinking about getting an original Donkey Kong board and putting it in here with this one with the switcher, because I think it'd be really cool to have Donkey Kong and Junior on the same cabinet. I really don't have any interest in getting a Donkey Kong individual cabinet. A, I'm running out of space, and B, I don't play it enough to warrant another spot for that cabinet. Plus, Donkey Kongs are still going for a pretty good amount of money, and if I can get a board for a couple $100 and just put it in here with this one, I think that, in my opinion, would be just fine. I like the Donkey Kong Jr. artwork. I like the orange cabinet. So that's pretty much it with that. Above that, we have Donkey Kong that my buddy 3D printed up there. And right next to this, a lady I did a bunch of work for at her house years ago gave me that Spuds MacKenzie. He lights up, obviously, as you can see. But I remember Spuds MacKenzie as a kid, 80s. That was like a big thing back in the 80s for Bud Light. So basically, oh, there's an original Nintendo box. I don't have the original Nintendo in there, but it's the original Nintendo box itself with the styrofoam and everything in it. I thought that was just kind of cool, so I put it up there. So basically, this is the 5 Nintendo games that I own, and I don't know that I'm going to get any more, to be honest with you. Now, only 2 of these 5 are real. You know, the other 3 I made. So, you know, but I enjoy them. I like it. But like I said, this is years ago, before I really started to get into restoring everything. And there's just, to me, there's something about an original game. You know, where it came from, who played it. Sorry. Who knows, you know, where it has been, what its history is. That to me is appealing. And just the hunt to find the parts and to bring it back to original and to get it working off all the original stuff, to me, is more enjoyable than building a cabinet now. Like I said, when I first got into this 11 years ago, whatever it was, I was just like, oh, I'll just build all this stuff, you know. It's easier, it'd be cheaper. Then I don't have to worry about fixing all these busted up cabinets and all that stuff. I could just build the cabinet and it'll be all new wood. And then I realized, like, you know, that's just not what it was about, you know. I could build anybody a new game if they want a new game. That's not a problem. But it just came to the point where I wanted the history. I wanted the hunt to go find the games, to find the parts, to put them together, to work through the problems and, you know, just fix all that stuff. And you're walking up to a game that was real from the 80s. I just think that's cool, you know what I mean? But that's just how I am. I know a lot of people build a lot of games, and I don't have anything against it at all. I've built a lot of games in my day. But I just really like the originals. So pretty much that's it for today. That's the 5 Nintendos. Like I said, only 2 of them are real. The other 3 I've built. Next week we'll go ahead and go down this line. Then we got to jump over to we have 3 cabinets over here. We have Elevator Action, we have Jump Bug, and we have Zookeeper. And Elevator Action, Jump Bug, and Zookeeper are some of my favorite games. I just like them. I just like the way they play. It's just, I don't know, it's just something about them. I really like them. They're all in original cabinets, all 3 of them. So we'll talk about those. We'll talk about, I don't know if next week, yeah, maybe next week we'll finish up these 3 and do 2 over there. And then we can just work right down this row over here and then go from there. So I know you guys are liking these. Hopefully you guys keep watching them. Like, subscribe, share, hit the thumbs up. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Like I said before, if anybody wants to see the insides of any of these or needs help with any of this stuff, feel free to message me. I have no problem getting back to you. I try to respond to every single person that sends me a message. Sometimes 1 or 2 will slip through, and I don't mean to do that, but sometimes I just overlook them. I'm filthy. I've been working on that 59 Impala. If anybody was interested in seeing that 59 Impala, it's on my other channel, and it's actually leaving here in about a half an hour. I'm waiting for the truck and trailer to show up. It's complete. It's done. It's driving. It's running. Everything works on it. It's heading to the interior shop, and then it's off to California to the new owner. So it's got a long journey ahead of it. It's got to go to the interior shop for probably a month, and then it'll probably go to the detailers, and then it's off to California. So if anybody's interested in seeing the completion of that car, please go to my other channel and check it out. So thanks, guys, and I will see you guys next Sunday. I'm hoping to get back to this Jurassic Park this week sometime. I've just been really hectic because I had to wrap up that 59 because it has to get to the interior shop. They're ready for it. So I had to take time away from working on these games and get that car out of there because I have 2 other cars I have to have done by the end of this month because they're going to Good Guys in Columbus the 2nd week of July. So I got one actually coming today. As soon as this one's on the trailer and out of there, another one's pulling in. So I have to finish that up. And that's also on my other channel. So I had to kind of step away from this a little bit. But I wanted to at least do these Sunday videos to at least put out something every week. So, you know, people can watch it and hopefully not forget about my channel. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.